Puberty is the stage when the body starts to transition from childhood to reproductive maturity. In girls, puberty typically begins between ages 8 and 13. Puberty that begins before age 8 in a girl is not normal. Hello, I'm Dr. Amaka and welcome to our third episode of Inside the Woman's Body. Today is the ultimate masterclass on puberty. Hey teenage girl, if you're watching this video was specially created for you. For all teenage girls around the world, but we will in this video touch issues that teenage girls in Nigeria typically face and in other cultures that are similar to Nigeria's culture. Starting from society expectations, stereotypes, we have a lot to do today. So you know what? Stay tuned. I promise you it's going to be worth your time. Puberty is the stage when the body starts to transition from childhood to reproductive maturity. In girls, puberty typically begins between ages 8 and 13. Puberty that begins before age 8 in a girl is not normal. So if your little girl starts developing signs of puberty before age 8, that is not normal. What are the signs of puberty? Stay tuned. I will discuss those signs in this video. Puberty can start between age 8 and age 13. But when puberty starts, that is not when menstruation starts. But a lot of people think, oh, puberty, that's when menstruation starts. No, please pay attention to your girl. When puberty starts is not when menstruation starts. Menstruation starts about 2 to 3 years after puberty has started. It doesn't happen bam, all of a sudden like that. Do you understand? It's a gradual process. If a girl has not started her period by the age of 15, please, she should see a doctor. I know when you hear puberty, you think that, oh, puberty starts in her ovaries, in the girl's ovaries. No, puberty does not start in the ovaries. Puberty starts in the brain. Girl's brain will kickstart the ovaries. There's a part of the brain called the hypothalamus. This part of the brain regulates a lot of hormones, including our reproductive hormones. This part of the brain called the hypothalamus releases a hormone called gonadotropin releasing hormone. For better understanding, let's take a look at this word, gonadotropin releasing hormone. Don't forget that this is inside the woman's body. So we are breaking down science the simplest and the easiest way for everyone to understand what is going on inside her body. Let's take the first part of the word gonadotropin. Gonado, that refers to your gonads, which are the ovaries in females and the testes in males. The second part of the word tropin comes from the term that means to stimulate or to promote growth. When you put the two words together, gonadotropin, this literally means a hormone that stimulates your gonads. Finish. So the hypothalamus releases this hormone that stimulates your gonads during puberty called gonadotropin hormone. And this hormone is not released just during puberty. This hormone is released throughout your reproductive life. This hormone called gonadotropin releasing hormone will stimulate two hormones called FSH and LH. FSH stands for follicular stimulating hormones. And you know the funny thing is science, we really do not call eggs, we call eggs follicles. So follicular stimulating hormone, FSH. That is the hormone that stimulates your eggs, literally. This gonadotropin hormone would also cause the release of LH, luteinizing hormone. These two hormones will not be explained in details in this episode. These two hormones will be explained in details in our next episode, where we will discuss ovulation in details. But anyway, puberty is switched on when the brain releases gonadotropin releasing hormone, which will in turn stimulate follicular stimulating hormone, FSH for short, and luteinizing hormone, LH. Follicular stimulating hormone, like I said, will stimulate your ovaries, and LH will cause ovulation. This is when the reproductive life of a girl starts. Before puberty, the brain will keep the reproductive system suppressed. puberty, that suppression
It begins
is
in the brain.
lifted. The brain starts to release the hormones I spoke about, and as it stimulates the ovaries, estrogen is released. As estrogen levels rise, estrogen levels will trigger physical changes in the girl. These changes are called secondary sexual characteristics and also reproductive changes, because estrogen too is responsible for regulating the menstrual cycle. Like I said, puberty unfolds step by step. It can take up to 4 to 5 years to fully complete. The first physical sign of puberty in girls is breast development, which begins with breast budding. Breast budding refers to as small, firm lumps under the nipples that may feel tender. And it is totally normal for it to begin on one side before the other side. So it may begin on one breast before the next breast. If you notice this in your girl before she's 8 years old, please see a doctor. Shortly after breast budding, pubic hair appears. Pubic hair is a normal sign of puberty and serves a protective function. Yes, pubic hair is protective. It helps to reduce friction and it helps to trap bacteria. Know that you can teach your daughters about hygiene, that's totally fine. Trimming is fine, but I would advise that you don't shave the entire thing off because it has some protective function. So as puberty progresses, the breast development, the growing of pubic hair, her hips start to broaden. Her hips get wider. She will start to store fat around her hips, her thighs, and her buttocks. And her uterus, that is her womb, grows and matures. Physical development definitely does not mean emotional maturity. A girl with breasts and hips is still considered a minor. That's why I said in the beginning that I will be facing specific issues that the teenage girl in Nigeria in our terrain faces. Because you see a girl, probably 14, but she's well developed, she's well grown, and people are like, oh, please, she is a child. A girl with breasts and hips is still a child and not ripe, in quotes, for marriage, because that's something that's popular around us here in our culture, child marriage. Now, during puberty, you will notice that your girl starts to smell different. This is called the adult smell. And this is why a particular sweat gland in the armpit gets activated. Now, this sweat gland secretes sweat that bacteria likes to feed on. And that is sweat that is thicker and rich in fat and protein, so very nutritious for bacteria, as opposed to the sweat gland that is active before puberty. This type of sweat gland before puberty secretes watery sweat that is low in fat and protein. The sweat gland that is activated during puberty is called apocrine sweat gland, and this sweat gland can be found under your armpits, around your groin. This sweat gland, like I said, secretes sweat that bacteria likes to feed on. Sweat on its own does not smell. But when bacteria on your skin feeds on it and reacts with it, that is when it produces a smell. This smell is called the adult smell. So it is totally normal for your girl to smell different during puberty. That is not the time to start telling her, you don't bath well, you need to be scrubbing your body. No, please get her antiperspirant deodorant. That will end everything. Nigerian woman, I did not say lime. Lime can be harsh on sensitive skin. I did not say lime and all those little things you guys like to do. I'm not saying lime does not work. I'm saying that lime is not the best option because lime can be sensitive and lime can burn and sting. Do you understand? Antiperspirant deodorant in combination is the best because antiperspirant will help reduce the way you sweat under your armpits, while deodorant will help mask any odor that is produced by this bacteria that likes to feed on sweat. When menstrual cycle begins, it may be irregular in the first 1 to 3 years, but it will stabilize, especially the first 1 to 2 years, but it will stabilize. When menstruation begins, it means that the girl is biologically capable of getting pregnant. However, this is not a license to get married because child marriage, unfortunately, is still common in our environment in Nigeria. Some men like to play funny, and even some mothers like to play funny, and they'll go, oh, so if she's biologically ready to carry a child, why not? Why can't she not be sent to marry? Why can't she have a child? That her biological clock has started. doesn't mean she can physically carry a child. You know what? Let me start with this physical part. A girl that is less than 18, even though her biological clock has started, she is not capable of carrying a child. The bone that holds the womb, called the pelvis bone, that needs to be broad and wide and fully developed for labor, does not get fully developed until after 18. Anything below 18, the pelvis is not fully developed. That is why girls in Nigeria, especially in northern Nigeria, that are sent into marriage and forced into childbearing at an immature age just because they have started seeing their period, suffer from what we call obstructive labor. Because like I said, this bone is not mature enough, it's not fully developed, so it's not wide enough. So the baby can't pass through. The baby's head gets stuck. Yes, this still happens in Nigeria of today. It is very sad, and we need to stop. A lot of women that even support this. It is wrong. It is child abuse. When a girl gets pregnant before age 18, she is at higher risk of medical complications from that pregnancy. This is important because in Nigeria has the highest maternal mortality rate. Another devastating complication that can occur in a girl that was forced into childbearing at a premature age is what is called VVF, vesiculovaginal fistula. VVF happens when labor is prolonged or obstructed. And then there is tissue damage in the bladder, forming a hole that urine can now leak from the bladder out to the vagina. This will result in continuous leakage of urine through the vagina. So imagine how this girl feels. She's rejected by the husband that married her. She's rejected by society. In fact, she's put away. She's emotionally abused. A little girl, a minor. This is what can happen when you force a girl to bear kids before they are matured. Now, apart from that, even without child marriage, because of the way it is in Nigeria, because of certain laws in Nigeria, it doesn't really protect the girl child. For example, number one, please, what is the official age of getting contraceptive without parental consent in Nigeria? I need to know. Guess what? There is no law allowing minors to get contraceptives without parental consent. No. In South Africa, for example, from the age of 13, girls can access contraceptive. Please, Nigerian government, we need laws that allow minors to access contraceptive without parental consent, especially in a country like Nigeria where abortion is illegal. A girl that is at puberty, yes, she's told, oh, avoid boys, avoid boys. That doesn't really do anything. She can still have sex, but she's not taught what to do if she wants to become sexually active. She's not taught that. In a country that abortion is illegal. Think about that. So, mothers, this is what I will tell you today. This is very hard. When your daughter starts puberty, yes, you advise her abstinence. Abstinence is the one that is 100%. That's the method of contraception that is 100% too. Yes. You advise her on abstinence, yes, but please, you also need to talk to her about protection. CDs, female CDs. It is okay for a girl to have CD. If a girl is sexually active, it is okay for her to have CD on her. CDs are not for only men to carry around or to have in their houses. No. It is okay for a sexually active girl to keep CDs. Let us normalize these things. You're not teaching your baby bad. In fact, you are protecting your daughter. Like I said, teach abstinence. What if the child is not abstaining? What will she do? So you need to teach her what to do. Protection, number one. Contraception. If you are sure that your daughter is sexually active, mommy, please take your daughter to the hospital and get contraceptive for her. Abortion in Nigeria is illegal. Don't go start doing backyard abortion. And a girl like less than 18 is at risk of medical complications. Please, let's protect the girl child. Now, let's talk about the mental and emotional changes that can occur during puberty. During puberty, there's a lot of hormonal fluctuations, especially estrogen, and this can cause mood swings. Your girl may feel happy 1 minute, then sad the other minute, irritated the next minute. This is happening because of hormonal fluctuations. Emotions are also more intense at this stage. Embarrassment, stress is more intense at this stage. And then many girls get self-conscious at this stage. They start to worry, oh, why do I have broad hips? Like me, I hated the fact that I had broad hips. Some girls, oh my God, my boobs are so big. I'm really shy. Do you understand? They start to get shy. They start to get shy that they have big boobs, start to get shy that they have big hips, especially when people tease them about it. And teach your daughters how to respond to people who tease them that way, because it is very inappropriate. We teach our kids how to respect people's boundaries, and also our daughters should not be teasing their friends about that, because at this stage girls tend to be insecure or shy about certain things, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, who doesn't like big bum, who doesn't like wide hips and big boobs? But no, the change could make them shy. At this stage, emotional intelligence should be very strong. Puberty is also the time of self-identification, self-formation, and independence. That's when you now start hearing, I want to do things by myself. I can't wait to leave this house. Leave me alone. I'm grown. I mean, we all did it. I did it. And I'm sure you mom that's watching it. This, you two did it. We all did it. High five. Wow. They will do it back to us, yes, go round and round. So puberty is a time of self-identification and independence. Friends may become more important, and then they start to pull away from their parents. They start to have feelings of attraction to the opposite sex. It is normal. Now, there's something I want to point out. Mentally, the brain is still developing, especially areas that control decision making and impulse control. This explains why judgment in a minor can be immature, even when understanding is present, because the part of the brain that handles decision making and impulse control is not fully developed until later on in life, that is after 18. This is why a minor is not considered competent to make certain decisions like sexual consent. This is why a minor can be easily manipulated by an adult. It is rape for an adult to have a sexual relationship with a minor, because a minor is not capable of making certain decisions. As a parent, can support a girl who is going through puberty by first normalizing how she's feeling. Let her know that these physical and emotional changes are normal and expected. Please communicate calmly and consistently with her using age-appropriate language. No comments like, you're getting too fat. No, instead, teach her healthy living. I was really fat as a teenager. My mother made sure I worked out every day with her. Please be her safe space for questions. Set clear but reasonable boundaries. Being a safe place doesn't mean not some discipline. No, 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 no. That's not what I'm saying. No, as a Nigerian mom, I'm not going to tolerate nonsense in my house. Never. Also, please, very important, watch out for red flags like sudden withdrawal, persistent sadness, extreme anger, or risky behavior. These signs may signal need for professional support. Mental health support is not a failure of parenting, it is protection. Thank you for watching, and watch out for the next episode of Inside the Woman's Body. In the next episode, I will be talking about ovulation. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, share, comment if you have questions, and hit the subscribe button if you like what I do. This is Inside the Woman's Body. Now you know.